The world of Magic the Gathering. Let's face it, it's a jungle out there. Hi everyone and welcome back. MTG Moxman here. If you're new to my channel and you've just found me in the nacho cheese universe of YouTube, thanks a lot for checking out my content today. Hope you had a good time while you were here, left a comment in the comment section, and of course, you hit that subscribe button. Gave this video a thumbs up. It costs nothing to subscribe to a channel, but it does help the channel grow and help me get closer to 8,000 subscribers. I'm less than 300 to go. It's going to be awesome. So before we get this video started about what's going on in the jungle of Magic the Gathering and finance, please remember I am not a financial advisor. Nothing back there behind me says that I know anything about real life finances. Take this as purely entertainment purposes only from a guy who collects Magic cards, plays with a lot of cool toys like Star Wars in the background, and just enjoys a good Magic conversation with all of you each and every day. So depending on where you are in the world of MTG Finance, and let's face it, anyone who joins this game for more than a hot minute, you're involved in the financial side whether you like it or not. You are enthralled with the idea that some of your cards are worth money. I know I am, and I know lots of new players, when they open a pack and say, hey, this is like a $30 card, they're so excited. But depending on where you are you a new player starting out, an established player who's been around for 5+ years? Are you an old school player who's been around for 15 to 30 years? You've been around since the beginning. Your views on the Magic world of finance are going to be totally different. Players who've held on a long time are going to have very expensive cards. There's going to be a group of players who are fairly established. They've been pumping money in to build their collections up over a number of years, and they have some valuable cards in their collection. And then there's the new guys coming in who maybe they bought some pre-con decks. Maybe they bought some singles. They probably went to an F&M with some friends and they just happened to join the game because all their friends are playing it. And they finally got talked into coming out and they realized, wow, I had a good time here. Remember, always bring a friend to Magic. Always bring somebody to play and join the community that we have for Magic the Gathering. It promotes the game and we all get to have a good time. Remember, strategy-based game, amazing. Ever evolving and changing, amazing. But when it comes to the financial side, depending on where you fall in those view ranges of paths, you'll have a totally different viewpoint on what you think the cards should be. Should they be expensive? Should they be accessible? How do you feel about the reserve list? Are you a commander player? Are you a pauper player? Two-headed giant, modern, pioneer, brawl, whatever it may be. I find the biggest thing that happened when I came back to Magic is I had a scattershot approach. I didn't know what I was doing. I was just buying everything under the sun. I was excited to be back in the game. And I lacked that focus, that pinhole focus to say, this is where I'm going to play for now. And even to this day, I still make mistakes and get excited. But I've managed to focus myself down to a lot more of the nitty-gritty cards I like to play with, the formats in which I like to play in, and the people that I enjoy playing those formats with. I love going to pre-releases for myself. I love a good pre-release. I don't care what it is. I just want to play it. Because it's kind of an even battleground for everyone. Just random packs put together to play it. Drafting is fun too. I'm getting a new appreciation for Commander, and I can't wait to try some of my new decks out. I don't expect them to win, but I like playing the game. But on the financial side, think about all the money you're going to be investing in this game. Taking the approach I did, which was scatter-shotting money everywhere, is an ill-advised approach to playing this game. If you're a new player and you just bought a couple of pre-constructed decks, maybe went to a pre-release, before you start just buying booster packs, which, hey, cracking packs is amazing, you're going to want to look at what you enjoyed about the game. Was it a certain mana type or color? Do you like the black creatures? Do you like the green creatures, the white creatures, red? Do you like to burn people out? Do you like life drain spells? Maybe you liked milling somebody's deck out. Whatever aspect of the game drew you in, that's probably where you should start. Before you start spending money every which way, research first. Look at the money you're going to spend on the cards you want to buy. Keeping up with the Joneses can be very expensive if your friends have been around for a couple of years and have decks worth hundreds and hundreds of dollars, if not thousands of dollars, depending on how much they spent when they got in. But remembering that, and the fact that Wizards does put out some pretty cool pre-constructed decks nowadays to try things out and to slowly build your collections, you can get in at a budget amount and slowly build your collection up. I'm never big into telling people they should rush in and invest tons of money in, because some players don't hang in there for the long run. They play a little bit, get agitated, frustrated, one bad experience with some bad players at a tournament, and they're out. So remember that. You can lose everything in this game if the cards go to zero, or if you lose a complete interest in the game and you just dump your cards off for pennies on the dollar. Remember to stay focused in the game. Decide on what aspects of the game you enjoyed when you played Magic the Gathering that first time, or as you're playing now as an established player, or as an older school player who's been around the block a few times. When you start buying your cards, research the cards. Decide which ones you like, which ones your friends play. If all they're playing is Commander, chances are you're going to be playing Commander with them, right? So start focusing on Commander. If they're playing Pioneer, chances are you'll be playing Pioneer. Your friends can change, but usually you'll change as a group. You will move out as a group. Me and my friends play a lot of old school kitchen table Magic. We just bought cards and added them to really vintage old decks. We didn't care. But we've started to refine things and go into the old school format, some modern stuff, some Commander. We've refined our tastes over the last couple of years based a lot on what viewers have told me here and what I've been exposed to when I've seen all this new information on YouTube from other YouTube content creators out there. Remember, it's not just me out there. There are hundreds of people with hundreds of channels. But I can tell you this, spending money everywhere is not going to help you, because you'll regret some of the decisions you make and you'll feel you've overspent. When you fine-tune what you're going after and you have those goals set in mind after you've seen what other players are playing, after you've researched some decks online, or just what your friends are doing, because they're the ones you're going to be playing with. Now, as your tastes change, maybe you want to invest more money into the game, broaden out your play group, maybe go to some mini tournaments at your local store. Then you'll start exposing yourself to more and expanding. But trying to do it all at once, and the scattershot approach I tried, like I said, is probably not the best bet. You're just going to blow some money and go, why did I buy all those cards again? They rotated out. They weren't worth anything. And that's the whole other side and the aspect of the game, depending on the format you play in. Some formats' longevity are much greater than others. The standard format rotates all the time, and cards like plummet in price and then slowly climb up over the years after they rotate out. But a format like Modern, Vintage, Legacy, Commander, those formats have a much longer longevity and the cards stick around for a long time. And depending on how much money you're investing, be leery of cards getting banned. If you see a card deck that is having a large win percentage and it's in 20-30%, kind of like a Ragavan type deck, that means it could be poised to get banned because Wizards sees it's taking over a particular format or type of format that they're playing in. And they say, we can't have it in Modern now. It's just too powerful. We got to take this out. It happens. Wizards makes mistakes. They don't do as much R&D. They have unintended consequences, or they did it on purpose to rake in some extra cash. But you as a player, you won't know that. So you have to take that as an account and say, what are my odds? How good is this card? And am I willing to invest $400 buying 4 Ragavans only to see them go down to $25-30 each, maybe $50 if it gets to stay in formats like Commander? It happens all the time. So being aware of that in the world of finance on the Magic side will help you make your decisions based on that. I know it helped me a lot. Now, when you get into these longer formats and you start wanting to really get in there, a Commander deck, you start seeing all the new cool lands, you're eventually going to hear about things like dual lands and go, oh my goodness, I got to have those. And fetch lands. Oh, I got to have fetch lands. You're right. And by the way, my Friday video, everyone, going to be about lands. So I look forward to seeing you guys there. But when you see people talk about fetch lands and dual lands, and you start looking at those, you go, oh, that's a lot of money. And when you look how the price have changed over the last couple of years, yes, it can be intimidating. But don't let it be. If you've budgeted properly and decided how much money you're going to spend, you can slowly build up into those cards as well. There is no rush. The good thing is, as a player who's played for 25 plus years, since the beginning, you build your collection over time. Don't keep up with the Joneses. Don't try to keep up with your friends. Get there slowly. Stay focused on the cards you enjoyed. Stay focused on the sets you enjoyed playing in. Because remember, your tastes are going to refine and change. Nothing wrong with cracking some packs, but maybe you don't want to get rid of the cards right away and trade them into a store. Maybe you want to hold on to them because they may have potential value later on. Because that's the other thing. When some cards go down, other cards can go up. And that is because Wizards of the Coast is constantly making new sets and new cards inside those sets. And sometimes a superior card is made that replaces a card you may be using inside your deck. And if you paid $25 for that card, and the new card is $25, but it does multiple effects or multiple things in the game, or it's just superior in some way, it costs less on the casting cost, it can drive the value of your card down. These are things you need to be aware of because Wizards of the Coast is aware of the secondary market, even if they say they're not. So you as a person inside Magic need to be financially aware that a card you may buy could be reprinted and could be driven down in value at some point. Or the actual card you have could be reprinted itself, driving the value down temporarily for a card that you may have had. That's why I usually say people should go for an OG original copy, because as the years go by, the original ones I think will be worth more money in the long run. Remember, non-financial advice, but that's the take I'm doing, because if a card I like is going to be reprinted, I might as well have an original copy of the card in case it becomes more desirable for its history and artwork from the old school style. It's just the way I'm thinking of these cards. But depending if you're a sealed box collector, a singles flipper or collector, or you're a person who really likes to go for like the old school reserve list cards, they all have financial impact inside the game in their own particular marketplace. There are people who just like reserve lists. There are people who collect across the board. These are things you need to be aware of as you're buying cards and collecting them. If you're planning on selling at any point, who will you appeal to? Where's the largest audience of players who might be willing to buy the cards you have? Because unlike a fast food meal at a restaurant that comes through you and just goes, you know what I'm saying? Let's face it, this card game has value. And at the end, you can decide to sell your cards and take solace in the fact you can make some money back on it. When you go to the movie, they don't refund part of your ticket at the end. But with Magic, at the end, you still have the cards. And those cards can be worth lots of money depending on which ones you have and how much money you happen to spend inside the game. Maybe you got lucky on a couple of packs and opened up $40, $50 cards. And maybe over the years you played, they became worth $100. It happens all the time. But knowing they will and probably will be reprinted sooner rather than later, you can kind of follow that and say, do I mind if it goes down? Or should I sell it now? It all depends on where you are inside the game. But there is financial impact on the game. This is all MTG Finance. It all fits in the certain space it's playing within. And the better you understand that as a marketplace, the more prepared you will be if something goes your way, thumbs up, or something goes wrong, thumbs down. You can take a more moderate take on either side, understanding that's how the game's played. Well, I really hope you all enjoyed the video today. Thank you so much for tuning in. I had a great time talking with you. I look forward to seeing your comments in the comment section. Are you staying focused on particular cards, or are you making my mistake and going scattershot? Guys, have a great day today, and don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. And of course, a big shout out to each and every one of the fantastic patrons on the channel who help support each and every day. Thank you so much, everyone. And remember, if you're looking to get a slot on my Patreon, you'll have to wait till April unless a slot comes open. I'll see you guys then. Well, it's just you and me out there. You're the one who made it to the end. Congratulations, you're here at the end. You know what? A little bit of Faraday's Fireball does everyone a little bit of good. I mean, it's Fireball. It's Dungeons & Dragons. Pretty wimpy Fireball, though. But still, we'll put that in the 10K box because that's where it belongs. Remember to record that stuff down because you never know how important it'll be when we get to 10,000 subscribers. But hey, 8,000 subscribers is right around the corner, and that's pretty impressive, too. I look forward to seeing you guys, man. Have an awesome day today. Have a nachos and cheese day. Actually, I think I'm having mac and cheese tonight because my son asked for it. Kids with mac and cheese, right? Gotta have mac and cheese with hot dogs in it. Yeah.